A girl sends a message saying she wants to break up, and the protagonist begins to cry. He is shocked, wondering if it could be a joke. He thinks she cannot mean it because he had planned their future together and was even considering marriage, but then he gets blocked and suffers. In his chair, a friend wanted to call him to play but finds the protagonist collapsing. The friend tries to help, but he storms away, slamming the door. His friends get upset because he cannot hold a relationship. Chen Huan is called a dog licker. He keeps chasing women, wasting money and gains nothing. He is angry that after 3 years he achieved nothing with Cham. The scene moves to them speaking and people watch them. The protagonist begs for forgiveness and gives her a piglet plush toy, her favorite animal. People gossip that he worked 4 jobs to support her. Chuang says all is fine, but after thinking she chose to return to her ex, the protagonist knows him and calls him a jerk. He tells her directly that her ex cheated and abandoned her pregnant. Suddenly a car arrives and a man tells her to get inside. Chuang ex dislikes them speaking and drives her away while she says it is better like this at the convenience store. The protagonist is crushed as a bootlicker. He thinks he will never find love. But a system appears showing his profile named Chen Yuan with 230 Chinese coins of personal funds and 1 strength point. Yet it also shows he has 90 billion Chinese coins for being a dog licker. He wonders what it means. A girl arrives asking if something is wrong because he keeps staring at her chest. He looks at her and starts scanning her stats. The sisty shows her name is Hu Li. She is 21 years old, 165 centimeters tall, weighs 49 kg and is nearly innate in appearance. Her favorability for the protagonist is -50. The system says if a chosen girl reaches 95 favorability, she can become his bootlicker. The protagonist is confused, asking if he must use the 90 billion coins on girls. The system says the coins can be used and are already added to his card. They work only on women, and when 95 favorability is reached, he gets 1/10 of the spent coins back plus more rewards. Convinced, the protagonist asks IU to eat, saying he will pay for everything. The system says all is ready, and he can spend on her once he reaches 95 favorability with a girl. He also gains 5 points as a reward to improve his skills. The girl asks if he is simply showing money. Chule doubts if he is trying to flirt, and if he can succeed. The protagonist keeps staring at Sweel, recalling. She is powerful, since she once made a man spend over 30,000 with just 3 words. He replies to her provocation, saying if she does not test him, she will not know. She accepts and tells him to buy snacks for the entire class. True. Lo looks down, thinking he dresses like a beggar and still wants to flirt, so she must teach him a lesson, but the protagonist SP ends 50,000. Without care, a group of people who mocked him realize he is wealthy, though he does not dress rich. The protagonist says calmly that money means nothing to him. Not being naive, he asks her. Add him. Herald is puzzled, thinking maybe he is a second-generation rich man inheriting money and a multimillionaire. She says she can add him. But first he must go to a special place. Let's see how I will handle you. Kill thinks in front of a Gucci store. She says she is not materialistic. He only wants proof of his sincerity and actions due to his clothes. The protagonist thinks he will be thrown out. But Chen Yuan tells Sweel it is fine. She may buy what she likes inside the store. The protagonist finds his exes together. She and Junai are talking about a bag. She tries on Chong, notices the protagonist is not alone. Julil asks him if that is his ex, saying this is not a good time. He replies, there is no wrong time. They arrived at the perfect time. Do you still have that spring collection bag? Wheel asks a worker, who replies only 1 unit remains, but Chon is trying it. The protagonist X is shocked and says she will now prove the gap between a loser and Junai Chuang. Tells Junai her birthday is soon. He is confused because he recalls her birthday was recent, but she says the earlier birthday was lunar and explains that people also have birthdays on the solar calendar. Don't you know? I dislike materialistic women. You are not with me for wealth. Right? Mai replies. Chuang is silent after the talk. L takes Chuang's bag, saying she will buy it since Chuang seems to have no money. Using the protagonist money, he gains 20 favorability points with Shulei. Swiping the card, he gains another 20, and when she smells the bag, he gains another 20. He feels excited, thinking how money changes things, and that the bag gave him 60 points at this pace. He will soon reach her highest favorability. The issue is if he reaches 95 favorability with her, without much spending, only with cheap bags, he will not earn much back. The store clerk seems surprised, saying some men appear, ulti, but do not spend on their girlfriends, while the badly dressed protagonist gives Suil the best. Chuang is left embarrassed on the ground, while Suil says that a bag is like a boyfriend. It is good to hold tightly. She looks at the protagonist, feeling she could lose him, and gives him compliments. Chuang, with tears, bumps into him, saying he went too far. Too far. Haha, Chuang, you still have much pain, the protagonist says. But with her sudden move, the system activated the second relationship. It begins showing her details. Name is Chon, 21 years old, 160 feet tall, 49 kg weight H. The rating is a little higher, and she has -10 favorability with the same goal of 95 favorability. Are you rel D? Did I do well? Where do we go now? Shalil asks. The protagonist says the night is just starting, and he has enough money, asking if she feels pleased. Only one bag, and she starts taking everything. Ending up full of bags, the protagonist gives the card. The store clerks say they will deliver once the order is closed. Ken Yuan keeps gaining favorability with Suil. Another 5 points, swipes the card, another 5 swipes the card, another 5. Shu becomes tired from shopping clothes and has nowhere to put them. Not enough space, it does not matter. I will buy you a house, says the protagonist, but this makes him lose favorability. Shulail says to slow down since it is already too much. The protagonist understands he scared her, and that buying a house for someone so fast is unusual, even for a rich man. Suil, a junior in Fine Arts College, 21 years, 49 kilogrammes, favorite color black. The protagonist says, showing he knows her. He asks the clerk if they have a card she can use. They say yes. Then the protagonist asks to load 500,000 credits for. So low to spend any time. Ken Yuan gives the card to her as apology for the mistake. She blushes and feels pleased. He whispers, if she cannot resist, she should just accept him. Oh, you bad boy, my God, Chil says, and he gains another 30 favorability points. The store clerks are shocked, seeing how gentle and caring he is with her. The protagonist says money makes it easier to flirt. Kay asks him if, even though he spends on her, he buys nothing for himself. The protagonist says he has little money. Shu, wishing to impress, takes him to buy clothes. She spends the 50,000 her father sent, paying for haircut, clothes, and sneakers. Fu is amazed seeing the protagonist with a haircut and new sneakers, and he gains another 5 favorability points, another 5. Another 5. The protagonist asks if he made a mistake since he never spent money on himself. She holds Chen Yuan's chin, saying nothing is wrong, she just thinks they look like a couple. She thanks him, saying the day was special. Now Zule has 68 favorability points back in the dorm. His friends ask what he did and why he is well dressed. Keenan says he was on a date with Leia. His friends give advice, reminding that not long ago he was broken by his ex, and now he is with Su Lil. They warn him to stay away, or he will become poor. The protagonist thanks them, then receives a message from Chuang saying if he hates her, they should delete numbers. Chen Yuan looks at the phone, thinking how he will raise favorability since she wants numbers deleted, but he wants to earn from her. Of course not. That cannot be. You always have a place in my heart, the protagonist replies. She says she is not with that man because she wants, but because her mother is sick, needing 50,000 for treatment. Chuang is surprised, realizing she was tricking him, and gets a notice of 50,000 the protagonist sent. Chuang's friend asks who sent it. She replies, her ex-wait, Chen Yuan D. And you leave him today, that fool is this wealthy Shuang begins thinking she made a mistake by leaving him, and even after he sent 50,000 to Chuan, he gained only 5 favorability points. She asked Shen Yuan many questions, like what he meant sending money, where he got such money, why Su Lilo was with him, why he did not buy a bag for her. And if he could be a second-generation rich man, the protagonist silences her. After she sends 15 messages in a row, and wonders if there is a more fun way to spend money on women. He finds a girl live streaming. But only minutes remain before she closes. She grows upset, asking if anyone will send gifts or she should end the stream. The protagonist sees he can send up to 1 million and thinks this is better than buying bags. He begins a rush of sending gifts. The G. IRL thanks him for a rocket, but then 100 rockets appear on her screen. People in the live chat grow angry, wondering who sent them. Ken Yuan realizes wealth brings loud attention and sends 900 more rockets, making her phone crash at the company. An employee tells the boss something huge happened. A man spent 10 million on Shom's live stream. The staff panic, unsure if the protagonist launders money through the site or is linked to the firm. Other girls see his nickname and are shocked. Had he spent 10 million on Shom's live and send him messages? Ken Yuan watches messages arrive. The girl wonders if it is real. But then a man with a sign appears saying he needs the protagonist's contact and will get a raise. The girl messages, thanks for the gifts. She asks if he is still in chat since she is about to end. But Chen Yuan had slept after spending all day the next morning. His friends see news of a man who spent 10 million on a girl live stream and talk about what they would do with such money. The protagonist realizes he spent it all without forming any relationship, so he opens TikTok and sees many girls messaging. One girl says she is 28, divorced, asking to meet. She feels upset since he ignores her, invites him to her studio and says she waits. He feels little interest as he earns no favorability. His friends keep talking about the money and prepare to leave. The protagonist asks where they go without him. They answer Hey, want to see the goddess Jaya Yuki and are going early to see her close. His friends ask if he forgot, since he usually runs ahead to be there all the time. A system shows her data. Name is Zia Yuki. She is the campus beauty vice president of the student council and dream of every student. She is level 10 at piano, skilled at athletics, ballet, and fencing. Her skills make her unreachable for men in college 3 years. None approached her. The protagonist feels challenged, as she is the hardest target, meaning he must spend more money. Chong nearby tells a friend that Chim Yuan only learned style after breakup and fears he and Junkai will fight. Her favorability rises +10/+10. The protagonist is annoyed, saying favorability rises only because he dressed up, but it is useless. His real aim is Xia Yuki. One man nearby says he wants to see how his boss will win the goddess Zi Yuki and says she will love him. He approaches her asking contact when another man interrupts, asking what he is doing. He ignores the man and keeps aching, insisting she adds him, wanting to be her friend. The angry man demands what he plans with Yuki, claiming trouble. He backs down, calling it a misunderstanding, saying he wanted to join student union since she is vice president and wanted advice. The angry man scolds him, saying that excuse is weak and calls him a pervert. The protagonist still asks if she can add him on Snapchat. She looks confused by the scene, the protagonist confident she will add him. The president says he is bold and brave for letting people mock him. The other guy admits he is more handsome than the last and asks if he wants to join union too. The protagonist says no, he does not care. The man confused why he wants Snap. Keenan says he only wants to chase her classmates' watch, saying at least the protagonist is brave. Zia Yuki gives him her contact. Chuang's friend asks, what is going on? I like beautiful women, why should I hide that? Sometimes the easiest way works. Which woman hates pursuit, says the protagonist. It shows he formed a bootlicker bond with her. But zero favorability. He feels happy, yet puzzled as she gave contact with 0 points outside class. His friends say he did well, getting Yuki's contact, since before he looked like a bootlicker. Now confident one jokes, if he gets close to president he must introduce them. The protagonist doubts he can, saying they exaggerate since she is the top beauty. A man yells, calling him a loser, but admitting he as sense revealing he is the one rejected by her. Keenan says he is the most skilled and the protagonist must learn from him. The man mocks, saying he is proud for nothing since only got her number, and asks if Chen Yuan knows him, but the protagonist laughs. Then Suil appears, asking why Chen Yuan took long as she waited long. Everyone shocked that Su, known for rejecting men, waited for this guy. The protagonist invites Ayu Lail to eat as apology for delay. Chul asks if she looks pretty in the clothes he bought her. Meanwhile, Chuang, angry, listens nearby. The protagonist says, no girl is pretty only from clothes. The couple leaves while all watch. The rejected man says Yang Yu feels frustrated that he was just one step behind the protagonist, but quickly drops his complaints when he notices Chuan nearby. Shuil then gives the protagonist a drawing she stayed up all night making of him, saying she'll never forgive him if he throws it away. Surprised, he admits it's the first time in his life he's received a gift from a girl. When she asks if he likes it, he stares at her, suspiciously, wondering if she's just playing a game. He bluntly asks if she plans to give him better gifts in the future. Upset, she demands the drawing back, but he refuses, saying he'll treasure it as a family heirloom. He then softens, telling her he likes her more than any gift, which makes her blush. Another playful favorability. Still, the protagonist thinks she might only want to make him her pet, and he plans to turn the situation to his financial advantage. Just then, another guy interrupts, asking about Shuil's nails and if the protagonist is rich. The protagonist recognizes him as another one of Shuil's bootlickers. Shuil Bruce, he's the guy off. But the protagonist steps forward, introduces himself, and questions the man, who reveals his name is Yang Yu from the arts department, and that he has been following Shuil for 6 months. The protagonist then tells a dramatic story about how he once worked 4 jobs, lived on bread, and followed a girl for 3 years, only to be dumped for a guy with a Mercedes. He lectures Yang Yu, saying rejection should fuel personal growth and that real men can always find wives. Overwhelmed, Yang Yu bursts into tears, leaving Shuil confused and embarrassed. The protagonist then scolds Shuil for not respecting herself, rips up her drawing, and tells her to use the card he gave her, but not to see him until she figures out her relationships. For the first time, Shuil regrets her actions, realizing he may be the first person who truly cared for her. Another plum 5 favorability. The protagonist reflects that he's grown, resolved things with Shuil, and now it's time to move on. He shifts his focus to Zia Yuki, the campus goddess. He discovers she's live streaming under the name Kiki, practicing piano and asking viewers for support. He finds her innocent compared to the others and is intrigued by her purity. Just then, Shomi, the girl he once showered with gifts, messages him angrily, upset that he doesn't remember her. He brushes her off, ignoring her pleas for more donations. Soon after, a duel begins between Kiki, Yuki, and another streamer. Both compete to see who can get more viewer gifts. At first, Kiki is far behind, with only 206 points. Her rival laughs, confident that Yuki has no chance. But then the protagonist sends an overwhelming wave of gifts, rockets worth millions, all to Yuki. Her points skyrocket, stunning everyone. The rival streamer is furious, accusing him of betrayal. The live streaming company goes into chaos. Staff whisper that Ghost, the protagonist's nickname, has struck again, this time donating another 10 million. They speculate he must be royalty or the son of Somioni Powerful. Meanwhile, Kiki's friend is thrilled, telling her this could make her an online star. but Kiki is cautious, saying she values independence and doesn't want to rely on men for success. Her friend pushes her, guessing the mysterious donor must be an extraordinary man living a humble life. Kiki is left wondering who Lonely Smoke really is, while the protagonist sits back, satisfied with how much he has shaken things up. Kiki, lost in her imagination, convinces herself that Chen Yuan must be living a difficult life, pretending to be ordinary despite clearly being extraordinary. Her friend tells her to go to bed since it's late, but Kiki insists on thanking him. Meanwhile, the protagonist sees a message on his phone, a girl asking if he's free to eat. He replies that he wants his favorite dish, crayfish. She agrees immediately, saying she'll meet him at the school gate in the afternoon. She didn't ask where I got the money for the gifts, just invited me to dinner. I want to see what she's up to, he thinks, staring at his phone. The next morning, Chen Yuan arrives at school on his scooter. A guy leaning against a Mercedes asks if he's waiting for someone. Chen casually asks the same question back. The guy proudly replies he's waiting for his girlfriend. Then the pianist, Kiki, appears. The Mercedes guy warns Chen not to stare too much, saying that to win over a girl like her you need wealth and effort. Otherwise, men like him will take all the beauties. But to his shock, Kiki ignores the Mercedes and runs straight to Chen Yuan's scooter, imagining him as a hero on a motorcycle. The Mercedes guy is left stunned, wondering what's the point of having money if the girl chooses a scooter instead. They ride off together. Kiki, in her head, imagines herself as his fiancée. At the restaurant, they order spicy crayfish. Chen Yuan arranges the table neatly for her, giving off a noble aura despite the simple setting. Kiki is touched. She feels he hasn't forgotten how to be a gentleman and thinks of him as disciplined, noble and gentle. When he eats the tiny crayfish, she marvels at his calmness, thinking he just wants a peaceful life. Her favorability rises another +10. She even peels a crayfish and offers to feed him. Just as he's about to eat, Chuang appears. She sees Kiki feeding him and stiffens. Her boyfriend, arrogant and brash, throws $500 at Chen's table, ordering him to get up so they can sit there. Chen Yuan wonders if the guy thinks this behavior is actually cool. The man throws down more money, demanding they leave quickly. Kiki looks furious, clutching her bag. The guy arrogantly says he has plenty of money to buy them out of their seats. A staff member even suggests they take the money and move. But suddenly, a handbag slams into the man. A blonde girl appears, shouting at him. She accuses him of cheating, calling out his lies. The man tries to deny it, insisting she's everything to him. But another girl exposes him, crying that he invited her and claimed to be single. The situation explodes. He slaps the blonde girl across the face, knocking her down. As he raises his hand to hit her again, Chen Yuan stops him cold. "You really enjoy embarrassing yourself, don't you?" he says. Instantly, his bootlicker system surges, +20 favorability, then +20 more. Chuang's favorability skyrockets above 95. The system congratulates Chen Yuan. He has reversed her into his own bootlicker. He spent only 50,000 on her, but now receives 5,000 back. +20 strength points. He splits them into strength and fitness. Flexing his arm, he prepares for the next move. The blonde man, humiliated, grabs a bottle and threatens to kill him. Chen Yuan smashes it with his fist, sending him flying. Coldly, he declares, "Depending on a woman isn't shameful. Hitting a woman while doing so is despicable." The blonde foams at the mouth, completely defeated. Chuang collapses to her knees, clinging to Chen Yuan's leg, begging for forgiveness and a second chance. He coldly reminds her of all the things men had once done for her, running 10 kilometers with her on their back at 3 a.m. to the hospital, saving money for months to buy her a phone she discarded for not being the latest model, and countless acts of kindness she ignored. "All those guys are dead," he says, walking away with Kiki at his side. Outside, Kiki apologizes for the chaotic scene. She tells him to call her by her real name, not President. She admits she saw a new side of him, and that he intrigues her more and more, believing he will bring countless surprises into her life. Meanwhile, Chuang is left in tears, standing in the rain. Her friend asks why she didn't use an umbrella. Nervous and shaken, Chuang doesn't answer. Her friend presses, saying she heard rumors that Chen Yuan donated 10 million to Kiki's live stream. Chuang is stunned. 10 million? Where did you hear that? Is it true? She shouts. Her friend calmly confirms it, explaining the news has spread everywhere. Chuang can only scream her disbelief. At that moment, Chen Yuan's friends are relaxing, playing mobile League of Legends. They marvel at his skill, asking how he managed to win 18 games in a row. Chen Yuan himself hadn't expected this. With 20 new attribute points, the protagonist suddenly feels unstoppable in online games. A guy with a stylish haircut suggests that with this kind of talent, he could easily become a streamer, earn millions, and build massive hype. Amazed by the power these attribute points have given him, the protagonist looks at his reflection, wondering who will benefit from his new body next. Just then, his friends call out for him to come outside, while his phone keeps buzzing non-stop. It's Juan. He wonders what tactics she'll use this time to manipulate him. When he finally picks up, his voice is cold. "Hello, Miss Xulil. Is there something you need to inform me about?" She bursts into tears, saying she doesn't know what to do. The scene cuts to her in an abandoned building, surrounded by things she had purchased with Chuan's help. She begs to borrow 500,000 from him. Xulil explains that her once prosperous family has fallen into debt, drowning in interest payments, and she just wants to clear it away. The protagonist calmly asks only two things: what exactly she needs, and her account details. Shocked, she quickly sends the information, never expecting him to actually send the money, but instead of 500,000, he transfers 5 million. Startled, she cries out that he mistakenly added an extra zero, but he replies casually, "Then just keep it." Overwhelmed with gratitude, she screams, cries, and her favorability skyrockets more, until it reaches 94 points. She promises to pay him back someday, but the protagonist only sighs to himself. Still not enough to win her over quickly. He briefly considers confessing, but dismisses the thought. Those who reveal their true feelings always lose. The next day, he hangs out with his friends when someone calls his name. He turns to see Chuang carrying pastries, asking if he'd like some. His friends are surprised, since when does she bring him breakfast? But before he can answer, another voice calls out. It's Lilil, also holding food, saying he must be tired of cafeteria meals. The two girls stare each other down. And then, unbelievably, yet another voice calls him. It's the student president herself, bringing ramen. The three girls glare at each other in a fierce showdown. The president, second most beautiful girl on campus, with a commanding aura, hands him the ramen. "How did you know I like this?" he asks. "With me, it's easy to guess," she replies smoothly. The protagonist isn't even trying anymore. It's the girls competing to win him over. Among them, the president's insight into his preferences easily secures her victory. To strike harder, she gifts him the latest iPhone. His friends are stunned. One even mutters that watching this is worse than losing his own father. The protagonist accepts, impressed. But the president only smiles, saying it's nothing compared to what he's done for her. Meanwhile, Chuang despairs. Winning him back is nearly impossible now with so many rivals. Soon after, she is approached by Xulil, who suggests they form an alliance against Yuki. Later, the protagonist admires his new iPhone, while Yuki catches him muttering about it. She pretends not to hear, though she secretly treasures his words. Her favorability sits at 40 points, frustratingly low, but her behavior makes him feel like she already loves him. Suddenly, his phone buzzes again. It's Xiaomi, a small-time TikTok streamer. She says they couldn't meet last time, but now she's willing, even though she's nervous about meeting fans in real life. Suspicious, he demands photos, saying he's not so easily won over. At the same time, another message arrives from Dragon King, inviting him into a legendary otaku group of big spenders and eccentric donors. Surprised, he joins under the name Solitary Cigarette. Inside the chat, people immediately notice him. He looks rich. Someone says he must have talent. Another quickly tries to recruit him into a business opportunity. Testing them, the protagonist agrees. Sure, message me privately. A man pitches him a luxurious villa in the ENU district, worth millions. Curious, the protagonist decides to check it out. The next day, he arrives at the villa with the president by his side. She asks why he brought her there so suddenly. At the gate, the guard recognizes him instantly. "Ah, you must be Brother Solitary Cigarette." The protagonist pauses. He knows this man's face. Stepping forward, he greets him warmly. Chen doesn't look particularly wealthy, but standing beside the president gives him an aura of credibility. The bald man wonders if Chen is from some secret rich family. This won't be an easy negotiation, he thinks. He introduces himself as Hong Yano, claiming he owns a few small businesses, but is now forced to sell the villa due to financial troubles. He invites them inside. The villa is breathtaking, the host explains proudly. Over 500 square meters of interior space. More than 2,000 square meters of land. Decoration by world-class designers. Exclusive Italian furniture. Pointing toward the balcony, he says, "Enjoy the view, the river, the city. If I didn't have money, I'd want to be buried here." Kiki realizes he's serious about buying, even though it's incredibly expensive. Chen Yuan takes a casual look around. "Honestly," he says, "I thought the house would be more beautiful. How much does it cost to live here?" Hong Yano frowns. "Many people are interested in this property. It's difficult to negotiate. I originally wanted 50 million, but how about 60 million? Chen Yuan lets out a small sigh. Hong Yano grows nervous. Is it too expensive for him? He wonders. Hard to fool a young master from a noble family. Then Chen Yuan smiles. I didn't expect it to be so cheap. The room falls silent. Everyone is stunned. Hong Yano curses himself. He should have asked 70 or even 80 million. Turning to Kiki, the protagonist asks casually, should we buy it? Kiki nearly drops her phone. What? I don't care. Buy it if you want. He leans closer, lowering his voice. I'm buying this villa for you. Hong Yano's jaw nearly hits the floor. He's giving it to the president? Kiki stands frozen like a statue. 60 million is too much. I can't accept it. Her imagination runs wild, Chen Yuan locking her in the basement, tying her up. She shakes the thought away and stammers, I can't accept such a gift. The protagonist gently takes her hand. Listen to me. I already own several properties, but there's a restriction on how many I can hold. I was planning to transfer this one into your name. That way, you'll have your own house. Her heart races. Crazy thoughts swirl in her mind. Then he whispers, do you think relationships are important? Everything I have is also yours. Her favorability rises, psen, until it hits 90. Chen Yuan smirks inwardly. I deserve an Oscar for this performance. My acting skills are top tier. Nearby, a blonde girl nudges Hong Yano. When will someone do this for me? She pouts. Hong Yano sighs. I don't have money for such gifts. Meanwhile, Chen Yuan swipes his card. I'll transfer the money. Once the paperwork is complete, we'll settle the rest. Of course, Hong Yano replies quickly. Everything will be arranged in the coming days. Chen Yuan's plan moves perfectly. The president's favorability locked at 90. He calculates. Once I max her points, this 70 million investment will return over 700,000. Worth it. The president, meanwhile, blushes furiously. Her thoughts spiral. Milan or the Maldives for the wedding. What kind of ring will he give me? What should we name our children? Will he still love me when he grows old? Before she can drift further, the car stops. She steps out and asks softly, "Aren't you coming with me?" Chen Yuan shakes his head. "A friend invited me to play League of Legends. See you later." He waves goodbye. She waves back, heart aching. That's it? Just goodbye? At the internet cafe, Chen Yuan greets his friends. "You're late," one of them scolds. "We already lost a match without you. Hurry, register, we need you." He sits down but pauses when he notices someone unexpected, Shu Lail. She explains cheerfully, "My father owns several internet cafes. This one just opened, so I came to attract customers. Thanks to you, our debts are finally cleared." Chen Yuan tells him to stop drinking, reminding him that the betrayal was her mistake, not his. But Weni keeps begging for advice, asking how to win her back. Chen Yuan snaps, telling him not to be a bootlicker. When Weni collapses in grief, Chen Yuan grabs his phone. His friend asks what he's planning, but Chen Yuan tells him to relax and trust him. He promises to take care of everything. He will make sure Jujia kneels before Weni and begs for forgiveness. Chen Yuan then calls the car dealer, instructing him to prepare a few cars. Not too cheap, only those worth over 20 million each. He also requests a few trusted drivers, hinting at the dramatic plan he's about to set in motion. The dealership manager assures Chen Yuan that everything will be ready by tomorrow. Weni, still confused, asks what's going on. Chen Yuan then calls Xu Liao, and when she arrives, Weni is stunned. One call and a beautiful girl shows up. He mutters, "Where's the old Chen Yuan who used to beg girls for attention? Now it feels like they're begging him." Chen Yuan introduces her. "This is my brother, Weni." Shulo, puzzled, thinks maybe he invited her to meet his close friends. But Chen Yuan quickly clarifies that it's nothing like that. He just needs her help with a little prank for tomorrow. The next day, Weni arrives dressed like a gangster. Julil clings to his arm nervously, complaining that the car he bought for her almost hit someone. Weni stammers, trying to act tough, saying it doesn't matter. If she had hit him, they could just buy another. His ex-girlfriend, watching from a distance, can't believe how much he's changed, looking now like a spoiled rich heir. "Weni, what are you doing? You know I know your family. Stop acting so shameless," she snaps angrily. Another friend whispers that she finally figured it out. The show is about to begin. Suddenly, several Ferraris pull up. From one steps a white-haired man. He greets Weni like an old acquaintance and confronts Jujia's new boyfriend. "You again? Always lying about who you are. Pretending to be rich to trick innocent girls. Pathetic." The new boyfriend panics, begging to be let go, while Jujia realizes she's been deceived. Furious, she storms after him. Weni simply watches and tells everyone to leave, but Jujia clings to his leg, begging, "I'm not greedy for luxury, I'm just scared of being poor. Please give me another chance." Weni shakes her off. "Don't call me Weni. This is the last time we'll ever meet. Never contact me again." Meanwhile, the cheating boyfriend tries to slip away, but he runs straight into Chen Yuan's chest. Chen Yuan smirks. "Want to leave? Then first take 100 slaps." The Ferrari drivers laugh, relieved to finally meet the legendary Chen Yuan. They toast him as Chief Yuan, pledging their loyalty. Even the white-haired man, clearly wealthy himself, bows to Chen Yuan's influence. During the celebration, the white-haired man makes a small request. He has a favorite female streamer, but no money left for gifts. Could Chen Yuan help? The dealership manager scolds him, saying it's a joke and not to bother Chen Yuan. But Chen Yuan surprises them all. "A joke? That's too mild. If it's only about sending gifts, then here. Use my phone. Spend however much you like." He casually leaves his phone on the table and walks off to the bathroom. Everyone stares at the phone in shock. The white-haired man hesitates, but then spends 20 million in gifts while Chen Yuan is away. When Chen Yuan returns, the man nervously hands the phone back. Chen Yuan glances at it and scoffs. Only 20 million. That's nothing. I'll spend 60 million myself. The group gasps. Even the rich white-haired man admits defeat, raising his glass. Chief Yuan, from now on, I follow your leadership. Onlookers whisper in awe. If someone like the white-haired man, famous for his wealth, bows down, then Chen Yuan must be on another level entirely. Just then, Chen Yuan receives a message from his favorite streamer. She's in town and can't wait to meet him. Chen Yuan smiles, thinking to himself that after all this time, he will finally enjoy the rewards of his generosity. The streamer, meanwhile, believes it's just a date. With her charm, she's sure everything will go her way. The chapter ends with a surprising message from Chuang. She wants to start over with Chen Yuan. She tells him she dreams of traveling the world with him, tasting dishes from every country, but every time she wakes up, she's alone. His pardon, the lead went there erased and removed her number because of his meeting with a small performer. The girl questions what he was doing, but Chenan replies it was nothing serious, and questions what she was saying. She recalls the employer yelling at her, saying he throws more than all her supporters in one day, and even if she must undress and put him to bed, she has to capture him. The little performer thinks that even with her lovely face, he looks cold toward her and is upset that she cannot capture him. She tries tempting him with her beauty, questioning him how he gained so wealthy at such a young time. However, the system alerts a notice saying her liking is too strong and it's unable to attach. The lead understands. He must reduce her liking first and thinks what action to take. He begins doing nasty actions to decrease her liking to make the attach. Like putting his legs on the desk, he tells her he's just a jobless man who became fortunate. She's angry that he doesn't labor, yet has funds to waste. The lead says he only uses his father's wealth, and that they are collapsing, owing millions to banks. He states he planned this meeting to see if he might recover the funds he spent on her, because he spent too big. She feels disgust when he doesn't clean his hands after scratching his nose, but at least the lead plan is working as he loses 20 liking points. She can't bear it anymore and questions why he called her if he's broke, saying that begging for funds back shows he isn't a worthy man. -20, -20, -20. She states she must have been insane to consent to meet a bum like him. The little performer dials someone saying she met the lead, and he keeps troubling her, believing he may be a pursuer. The lead is upset to learn such a false woman, calling her shameless for flipping her attitude so quickly. A man storms through the entry, asking who's troubling his girl. She dashes to him, saying she was terrified to death of the creep Chen Yuan. The man ignores her and walks to Brother Yuan. You're here as well, so the lead the man is amazed to meet. Qin Yuan saying it's respect to know him. She is puzzled, not grasping why Mr. Yuan is being so respectful to him. The man is among the richest second-gen heirs, owning many trades in the district. He hits the desk, calling her dumb, saying she's troubling one of the biggest men, calling him broke. She wonders why he's doing this, thinking the lead was checking her honesty and realizing she ruined greatly. The little performer knows she must regain him and starts pleading, requesting his pardon with that the system attaches with her. The lead glances and states it's fine that she's merely a young, naive woman. She says she gets it, and that he truly is her favorite. +10, +10, +10, +10 liking points. Chen Yuan wonders if this is how folks earn living, by charming others, believing that as long as they can take money, liking will climb. He says he won't release her so easily. The man from the outing strikes the desk, stating he spent a lot of wealth on her to lift her fame, and she treats one of his closest friends in that way. The man asks the lead to an honor occasion. The lead replies he can attend without issue and that he's doing it out of regard for the bond. Shen Yuan steps into the ride. The little performer says she desires to join too. In the ride, she embraces him and questions if he's upset at her, saying she really gets she was mistaken. The lead pulls out his mobile and opens the stream app. He states it's fine and she's stressing too much. Chen Yuan plays a live session of a polite girl telling watchers to follow her. The little performer views in shock as he makes offerings. The girl in the show goes insane with the gifts, not grasping anything. She collapses from the size of funds she earned. The little performer is amazed with how fast the lead wastes his money. She states all that wealth must be for her and that he must be kidding, plus 30 liking points. The girl states she wishes his hands were tapping the screen, but her body instead, and he gains another 30 liking points. He watches, stating she's insane for enjoying watching him shame her by gifting to others. Reaching the site, the man greets the lead, saying it's the most trusted private diner in the city, only open with a rare member invite, and it has 3 main aspects. The lead is puzzled about the 3 main aspects, guessing amazing meals, a special place, but cannot think of the last one. The man is amazed he guessed 2, and states he couldn't guess the 3rd. Chen Yuan notices the boss playing her tool, and the man states that's the 3rd mark, the cook's child, Jaya Yuki. She rises and they trade. Puzzled stares. She notices the little performer holding to the lead's arm, and he loses 5 liking points as she breaks her tool, weeping and gloomy. The lead notices her run off, moaning that he was so near to a strike back, and wondering if he can use the chance and correct all at once. He shoves her toward the wall, and she says he's a great fool for messing with her heart. Chen Yuan states he can't waste this shot, that if he lets her escape, he doesn't know how he'll repair it later, and then he risks questioning if she has watched a certain film. She asks what he's saying she's weary of him, and now he's asking of films, but Chen Yuan smokes his stick and says he's the son of a magnate, asking if she knows he has a great past, and must be wondering why he lives such a plain life. He states that in his clan there's a hidden law. When one turns 18, they must spend 10 billion in a month to gain a fortune of 50 billion. The lead clarifies that his goal is to waste this wealth, saying, he's put into many schemes, deeds, charities and nature safeties, and mentions that this woman was a performer he gifted to, because he had to waste the wealth. He says this case was just a tiny mix-up, and that all he told her is a secret that only she knows, asking her to get it. Chen Yuan states this is a secret he's carried for years and says her. Kiki states she's making more and more burden for him, and it's so tough to see how he will gain this fortune. She notices Chen Yuan and embraces him. She states she's not ready to part from him, and that it was an error for her to think that way of him embracing him. She thinks he truly cares for her, because he told a family secret. With that, she gains 20 liking points on the path back. She begs pardon for getting upset, saying it wasn't on purpose, and that Chen Yuan is her ally too, and that she'll cover his bill. The man is amazed that in less than 5 minutes he managed to patch with the boss. However, the little performer is not glad at all, very upset, saying Kiki thinks she's so great, but she's the one who will gain Chen Yuan at the meal. She questions what his tie with the boss is, but then the president says the protagonist hasn't revealed his real name yet, and that it's good for her to call him brother from Man, since he's probably younger than her. The guy says the president is dominating the interaction, just staring at her. The little streamer holds herself back. Chen Yuan tells the 2 of them to stop and to eat quickly because he's hungry. The 2 of them glare at each other. The guy says Yuan doesn't care about anything and that he's very mysterious. One's a famous streamer from the Shark platform, a wealth reaper, and the other is a renowned, talented woman with aspirations higher than the skies. He says the protagonist has the best of both worlds to choose from for his future. He says Chen Yuan has surpassed the art of seducing women and can be called a succubus for girls. At first, he was impressed by his wealth, but now he will follow him as a spiritual idol until he kicks the bucket at home. Chen Yuan says that restaurant was too expensive and thanks Kiki for paying as an apology. He says he'll check how the strategy is going in that Chuang, and Keksu Lail are still his bootlickers, and sees that the president's favorability is at 91 and the little streamers at 92. The protagonist sees the high points and wonders if it's good to make an aggressive move. He notices someone behind the president and asks if it's Liang's girlfriend. Seeing she has 76 favorability points, he remembers it was 25 when he raced and wonders if his charm has increased these days. Guys rushed by saying there's a guy confessing to a girl, a guy wanting to love and be loved. The protagonist says it's getting rare to find genuine love. These days downstairs, a crowd is watching with a heart made of candles, the couple playing guitar and declaring his love, saying he still loves her, that he was always wrong, didn't want to be ignorant to her, and promises never to be violent again. He asks her to think about the past and give him a chance. The most faithful girl in China is staring at him half confused. The protagonist arrives asking what's going on, but the cruelest woman strikes again. She slaps the bouquet of roses and runs away. Lin keeps saying she doesn't need to run, since her true love is right there. She arrives and asks if his name is Chen Yuan, saying she finally found him and begs him to add her. The guys go crazy, wondering why she's going to another guy. Ling says she disappointed him. The protagonist talks to him about his frustrated expression and asks if the situation was incomprehensible. Ling asks if he doesn't want to close the coffin lid right away. Keenan says he's always been envious of his good looks and athletic talent, and he always won the hearts of girls. But now that he's lost, he's panicking. He says the mind consumed by the desire for victory made him ignore his girlfriend's feelings. He's the one who pushed her away bit by bit, and now he's on the ground playing the victim. The guy admits he's right, and then it's his fault. Several girls are watching, wondering what's going on. They say if he was aggressive, he doesn't deserve dignity, and if he treated her badly, there's nothing to resolve the girl stares at the protagonist, saying he understands her, with that her favorability reaches 91, even though Chen Yuan did nothing. He didn't give money, just looked at the girl a few times and she already loved him. The president's friends say she needs to find a way to talk to Kiki, to warn her that she's not the only one talking to the protagonist. She opens the door, desperately asking if she has any problems in saying that Chen Yuan is cheating on her and that she should stop everything because of it. She leaves a like in the video to help Mamoru make more juicy content for his viewers. Activate the cheeky little bell, and I'm out.